Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the CSC Racing League Cup Series. Last night was the return of the street stocks, and I am happy to report that we are back with the Cup Series as well. Tonight we've got a fun one, as always. It's the Xfinity / O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars. I'm not really sure what to call them, considering we're in between their change. But you'll recognize them as the B-tier series in iRacing and the NASCAR hierarchy as well, of course. And we are at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And no, I'm not calling it Echo Park, because it wasn't Echo Park at this time. This is truly Atlanta from 2008. 1.54 mile quad oval is the kind of the legacy version of this track in this game before it was all torn up and ready to be paved. This was the old intermediate version. Should be fun, should be a good one to watch. Let's take a look here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Get a look at that scenic view of the this now reconfigured track. Of course, this version of the track no longer exists. They made the track skinnier, actually, when they redid the banking. So it's skinnier but steeper nowadays. In the old configuration, it's a little bit wider, but it's a little bit harder to hang on to. Definitely going to be watching restarts, as cold tires are an advantage, but only after a lap or two. The first lap on new tires is a handful with these vehicles. As for our cars tonight, I do not have the specs on the O'Reilly Auto Parts cars memorized, so let's take a look at those vehicles and see what their specs are all about. There it is. So, yes. This is the... Is that? I know there's information. There it is. So, these vehicles, 358 cubic inch pushrod V8s. They range from 650 to 700 horsepower. Looks like they're cut down to about 450 on the restrictor plates. Of course, that is not the case here today. On the intermediate layout, we will be at the full 650 to 700. They are naturally aspirated. They are still old school carbureted vehicles, unlike the new next-gen cars. These are still the old school style. Nothing else too out of the ordinary. Of course, Goodyear provides the tires for all NASCAR vehicles, so no Hoosiers like the street stocks or anything. And it looks like the weight with driver is just over 3,600 pounds. So, definitely not lightweight cars. These things are big, they are heavy, and they are fast. They're also a little bit ungainly in the corners. They like to be slidey. So, let's hop in to the CSC test drive car. I am not very good here. I've honestly never raced here before. I may have put the second fastest lap time in. I have yet to be able to duplicate that since doing it. I kind of did it by accident, and I'm not really sure what to do. I'm not good here at Atlanta, so I'm just going to show you the best lines I've got and kind of show you what it's like in the car. These guys will more than likely be driving a little bit faster. You're also going to see how crazy this is. Already hear those rear tires slipping. A lot wider than the normal Atlanta layout we're used to seeing in the modern day. Oh, yep, there she went. That's what I mean by the cold tires. By next lap, that car will stick. As I said, I am not good here at Old Atlanta. That has knocked the toe out of my vehicle, unfortunately. practice around this track. A lot of the other tracks you see me at, I've had some practice, but I at least know something about the line. I cannot say that here with the old Hanover layout. I don't think I've ever raced it. See, not really progressive banking. Not sure there's an advantage to the higher low line. I'll be curious to see where these guys from. I'm going to be learning from them tonight as they go, so I can learn where the fast, where the speed is at on this old track. Worn out pavement, definitely a factor. This place does chew up tires like I chew up a breakfast platter. That is frequently and fast. Boy likes steak and mix. That is what Atlanta does. More rubber. Drivers will be feeding them cars, tires, all night long in the day. Without them, they're going to have a rough way to go. And all it takes is to overdrive the corner once. See, now I can't get the spin. Now it's pushing really bad. Very, very tricky racetrack. With a minute 13 left. I don't think I have enough to go out on fresh tires again, but I'll give it one more go here just to see. This should put us to the end of the practice session. And then we can start going through our competitors, see who's going to be competing for the win tonight. Who's going to have a chance here at Holy Little Land. Brian Moore up there, who's a little faster than me, is running on the side of this racetrack. Whoa! Golly! Boy, it just turned evil on you. That is unreal. Alright. Probably a good thing I'm not racing tonight, folks. I do not have the skills to pay the bills here. And I almost had it held and it just went around on me. That is going to be a familiar sight all evening, watching these cars go round and round. Does my keyboard still work? I accidentally spilled a cup of water on it yesterday. Actually, yes it does. We're in good shape. Cool. Alright. Yeah, we're working good. Alright, good. Hey, we've got a new competitor I see popping up down there. So let's go through our lineup of drivers here this evening. And we'll kind of tab around and see who's running where. So, our first driver of the night, we saw him on track earlier while I was trying to run a lap myself. That is the WeatherTech Chevrolet Camaro, the Connor Zivich tribute car. That is Brian Moore. Competitor last night, second place finisher in the Street Stock Series. Brian, of course, a very good, hard racer. He will race you clean every single lap and really make you work for it. There's the number 04 Toyota Supra. That is Samuel Caldwell, or as we like to call him, Twig. Rocking that Superman paint scheme tonight. We'll have to see if he can be the Superman of the Xfinity series and bring home a win. my keyboard? Oh, no, it's just disconnected. Okay, there we go. There's last night's winner in the Street Stock Series. If you've been watching this league at all, hi Chris, welcome in, bud. If you've watched this league at all, you'll know that number 5 car. That belongs to Mr. Derek Hilker. Last night's winner in the Street Stock Series. Derek is always wicked fast and hard to race. He will run you hard every single lap, and he's not one to roll over and give up his position without a fight. And the yellow and black, the golden black machine, that is number 69, W machine. That's Mr. Gary Greenlee in that vehicle. Another vehicle, if you notice, you've watched it all this year, you'll know that yellow and gold with the bright red numbers. He's a hard one to miss. Have to see if Gary's got some speed in Atlanta. Gary's a little like me, where he's got some of the tracks he's a little faster, and some of the tracks he's still trying to find a little speed. I relate with that sometimes. Like here tonight, I am in the struggle bus tonight. Glad I'm not racing. Gary always a hard runner. Down. Only seeing those 3 on the racing surface at the moment. So let's pull up the driver's list and see who else is out there in the grid. So we've already went through the 10 car of Brian Moore, 5 of Derek Hilkers. He winds that 5 car down from his qualifying attempt. The 04 of Samuel Caldwell, Twig putting in a good 30.748 run. Greenlee's 30.771. No qualifying attempt from Chris Hood in the number 13 car. Not even sure what his paint scheme looks like. Have not seen him on track this evening, but I'm sure we will eventually. My car, of course, we can ignore. And then our 2 latest arrivals. That would be the 73 car of Ray Coyle, Savage Incorporated. And then, of course, the 089 of Brandy Randall. That is Little Savage. So we've got a grid of what appears to be 7 here this evening. Should be a good show when we're all said and done. Is there anybody else on track? No. No extra vehicles left on track. All we can do is sit and watch. 33 seconds. Anybody who wanted a qualifying session is most certainly not going to be making a lap now. You need at least about a minute and a half to make a qualifying lap attempt, and that's only to get one of the 2 ends, so 30 seconds, definitely not enough time for these competitors. Drivers, as always, will have a 5-minute warm-up session now that qualifying is over, just to make sure their cars are comfortable and ready to go for the feature. Rules tonight. Event rules. We have a 75% fuel tank limit for these vehicles. What does that mean for fuel loads? Well, let's take a look at the in-car black box. You can see we can only get about 37.5 laps of fuel out of a 14-gallon tank, which is 75% capacity. With a 50-lap feature, that means these drivers are going to have to come in and top up on gas. Tires are another thing these drivers are going to have to manage. They do have unlimited tires. We've given them as many sets as they want. Keep in mind, though, that does require sacrificing track position. And then, of course, the last thing, with this being a track that is very prone to high speeds, high risk, and just a little bit of sketchiness in general, we have left 2 fast repairs for our competitors.
Just remember, the restart zone is enabled for today, and we do have our restart, or our choose rule. Choose rule is again, once you pass the exit of the restart zone. You can make one move before the start-finish line. Make sure it's completed. If you feel that you've blown the start or blown the choose, just drop to the back. No further penalties.
That is correct. Unlike the street
Also,
stock.
I have 3 spot schedules. I give us 2 fast repairs, and we have unlimited tires. Fuel is still set at 75%.
Looks like one of your wheels is out of alignment. You'll have less.
Sorry, Derek. Okay, that's enough for me, I guess. I did not mean to take Mr. Derek Hilker out there. I feel a little bad about that. The car was out of control. I had nowhere. I was trying to lock it down, and whoops. Yeah, he has the right to be a little bit pissed with me there. My bad. Alright. Just like that, though, that's how evil this track can turn on you. Alright, he got that car going again. Cost him a few seconds, but hopefully not too much. So let's take a look at some of those cars we didn't get to see earlier. Whoa! There's number 13 car of Chris Hood. Looks like he will be in the Coors Light Banquet Mobile. One of the only cars out here tonight wearing the colors for the Blue Oval. Number 13 car does appear to be a Ford Mustang. Let's take another look here. Let's get maybe TV2. That is Derek Hilker, of course. There is the 73 of Savage Incorporated. I take it back. We do have a second Ford. Savage Incorporated also rocking the Mustang. Oh, Twig has had an incident with the fence. That 04 badly wounded. And we do have a third Mustang, actually. Little Savage also repping the Blue Oval. Definitely have plenty of representation out there. I think Twig is the one on an island with this. His Toyota all on its lonesome out there. Whoa! Oh, wow. Boy, she must have hit the wall right at the microphone and camera pickup. Yep, because we got Chevy, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Chevy. Okay, Twig got her down off the surface. Alrighty, I think that covers everybody. This should be a good race to watch. 7 cars will be fighting it out for the Let's take a look at the... Am I able to see who the fastest is right now? Standings. Brian Moore actually with the fast lap, 30.654. Hilker, 30.7. Greenlee, 30.737. So Greenlee's got some speed tonight. Have to see if he can hang with the front runners up here tonight and make a run at this win with that kind of speed. Savage Incorporated 30.9, Hood 30.9 as well. Didn't get to go through all of them there, but definitely some speed from these drivers. Be interesting to see. We've got definitely plenty of drivers with plenty of speed. The other question is how well can they manage their equipment? Of course, I will not be gridding up, so let's get to the pace car here. Fortunately, no Cameron Romano tonight, I see. I think he might be busy this evening, but no, I'm just realizing we don't have our ticker up. That was supposed to come up automatically. Let's get that fixed up, shall we? There it is! Now we're talking. Don't know why that didn't come up automatically, but whatever the case. So, let's go through your starting lineup for the CSC Cup race here at Atlanta. Your pole sitter, And the number 10 WeatherTech Chevy. That is the driver, Brian Moore. To his outside, in that number 5 W Energy green, red, and orange machine. That is last night's short track winner, Derek Hilker. Inside row 2. If I can get back there. They keep trading positions. I can't pan back. There we go. There is the lone Toyota in the field. Trying to put something up there for the Toyota brand. And that's Superman Toyota Supra. That is Samuel Twig Caldwell. Outside row 2 in the gold and black, all too familiar livery from Gary Greenlee. That is Gary Greenlee. Uh-oh, we're missing a car. Oh, no, there they are back there. Inside row 3, the number 13 Coors Banquet Ford Mustang. That is Chris Hood. Outside row number 3 will be the 089 of Little Savage. And there we go. I got to go back forward a little bit. And of course, last but certainly not least, in that number 73 Savage Motorsports Ford Mustang, that is Savage Incorporated. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. We're away and racing here at Atlanta. Whoa, no! Already a big wreck. Oh boy. Is that, where are they at? I can't see them.
Caution. What do you got now?
I apologize to everybody. I spun really bad there.
Oh no, that is the sound of an engine being blown. Chris Hood able to get his vehicle rolling again. Too much going on. I couldn't even see. I was trying to see if I needed to throw the caution. I couldn't even see what was happening. Oh. Sorry, Derek. I couldn't see chat there for a minute. Took me a minute to see your request. We had a couple drivers get black flagged under that restart for passing below the on the low side, which you are not supposed to do. However, we do excuse it when you are avoiding wrecks. We will never penalize somebody for trying to keep their car clean and avoid the carnage. That is just the right thing to do for our competitors. Chris Hood going to bring that Ford Mustang down to the attention of his crew. My guess will be that he'll have to look at a fast repair. That Ford Mustang definitely a little bit too beat up to try to do anything with it. See, he will, I'm sure. Well, as he blows his pit box. Yep, there he got her fixed up. No tires for Chris Hood, just a quick, fast repair, and away he goes once again. That'll get him back in the race, although a tough penalty to take starting out. Starting with only one of your fast repairs remaining, with not even technically a single lap in the book yet. Oh, I take that back. That was on the pace car. We do have 3 laps in the book, excuse me. Your leader, after all the carnage, looks like it's going to cut to the 04 of Samuel Caldwell. Able to manage the chaos and keep that car on the straight and narrow and keep those bumpers clean. That's going to be to his advantage starting the night out. He goes from starting third to now restarting first. There's the number 10 car, your pole sitter, Brian Moore. He came over the radio and said he spun the tires a little on the restart. Do believe that that was part of what led to that chaos. I forgot that was the choose rule right there. So, Twig, with the command on the choose, actually takes the outside. He must believe that that outside lane is dominant. Meanwhile, every other driver in the field takes the low side. The 5, the 73, the 089, and the 13, every single driver in the field choosing the low lane of the racetrack. Makes you wonder if Twig has a plan or if he is just being brave. Not often you see only one driver take the outside. Especially the folks back here at the back, like Chris Hood, really could have got some track position back if he would have just went to that outside lane. All right. Well, pace lights are out. Ford Mustang rolls down onto pit road. Green flag is out. We're away and racing here again in Atlanta. Let's see what they've got for us this time. A little bit of a wall tap there from the 089, but looks like everybody's all right. Twig out to a strong start already. Like he's trying to push that Toyota right out hard fast. Not afraid to use up some of those tires. Brian Morton 10 car trying to mimic the line of the 04. Make the most of his good qualifying speed. Like to see what he's got in the long run. Eric Hilker, of course, trying to stick with those 2 leaders. He wants to make sure he's a part of this battle for the lead when they eventually get caught up and bumper to bumper to bumper here. That is giving the 5 car a little bit of an advantage having a tow from the 10. The 10, I'm not sure able to get as much of a tow off of the 4 car due to the little bit of an extra lead. 3 car will break away at the front. 7 just having incorporated. I do believe the 13 car got a little bit held up by the 089 on the restart. Whoa, we got a car in the wall. Minor scraper, no big deal. I believe that might have been the 10 car of Brian Moore getting a little bit of scratching on the wall. Brian running very wide. The 5 in the 04 going to the low side of the track here. Excuse me, scratch that. The 04 kind of running the middle. All these cars very, very strung out. Cars up front. Twig in full command of the race at the moment. 10 car looks like maybe he's been able to reel in the 04 by a car length or so, but not any major progress on the 04. Trying to find a different line to do some way to catch up on that 04 car who is just showing no signs of mercy in the field at the moment. Hilker in close pursuit. Right now in 3rd place, my guess is he's just trying to keep on going and stay in touch with that 04 car. Just keep those wheels turning and stay out of trouble. Savage Incorporated running that very, very aggressive low line along with 13 of Chris Hood. Now it looks like that will be the, indeed, that is the 69 out of the race. Gary says, F it, have fun. Sorry to lose you so soon, Gary. That's bad luck. We were hoping we might be able to cycle you around, get you back in the race. But that's an unfortunate end to your evening there, bud. Didn't want to see you finish it off that way. Especially not on lap 1. Whoa! 10 car high out of the groove on 2. Gets a piece of that wall. That will let the 5 car finally be able to slip. Well, maybe. The 10 car on the high side. Yeah, he is able to be cleared by that 5. But bumper to bumper action for the 2nd position. A mistake from Moore opened the door. The 5 car stuck his nose in and took that position away. A smart move by Derek Hilker to just make sure he takes advantage of a minor mistake there. Moore only missed that corner by an inch or two, but it slowed him down just enough for that 5 car to get a run and slip on by. 10 car was unsuccessful in reeling in the 04. Let's see if the 5 car has the ability. Very quiet race after that initial restart. No big wrecks yet. Only one wounded race car on the track. I take that back. Chris Hood has his damage fixed. He was able to use that fast repair, so the only damage these guys have is what they've incurred during the normal run of the race. They've tapped the wall or gotten into each other during battles, but I do believe we have 6 clean race cars on track at the moment. There's the 089 of Little Savage. 04 car going to have lap traffic to deal with sooner than he probably expects with the 089 coming up quickly. Superman car looking like Superman out front. Definitely an ironclad defense for the car with the Man of Steel livery. Showing no signs of weakness for the moment. Oh, that 5 car. There's one thing Derek Hilger is, it is relentless. If he's not leading, you can count on it that he wants to be right up there trying to get it back. He looks like he might be closing the gap. Little bit by little bit, inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter, he's trying to claw that 04 in. 04 finally starting to deal with the airflow from that lap traffic of the 089. Randy dropping all the way down to the apron there, showing some respect for her fellow competitors and giving them the preferred line. That, folks, is good racing etiquette. Well done. If you're ever in official races, you have a race or whatever, that is the way to handle things the right way. If you're a lap down, get down, let them go by. That is the right way to handle it. Car Brian Moore has fallen back considerably off of those 2 leaders. My guess is when he got into that wall, he more than likely bent the toe and has some steering damage on that number 10 car. Good news with the fast repair. Yeah, and there you got a piece of that wall again. Definitely looks like the. Let's go on board with the number 10 car. Let's check out his cockpit camera. Yes, look at that steering wheel. If we compare this, let's go back a vehicle here. Well, maybe not. Let's actually go for a lap along with our leader, Samuel Caldwell, here in the 04. Interesting, the gauges are different in the Toyotas. I take it back. He does not have toe damage. He might have just cooked those tires. Big in that 04 car. Smooth as glass. Yeah, this is what I'm used to seeing in the Chevy. You can see the difference in the gauge clusters there. Or driving her down in there. A lot more steering angle than the other 2. I'm betting he's got his front tires cooked off of it pretty good. Go back to the wide view camera, get a little bit better. But that's what it's like on board with these cars in the race conditions. So no toe damage for Moore. More than likely just a burned up set of tires. He had good short run speed. Looks like he might be struggling a little for the long run speed as he gets a piece of the wall coming out of vision. No cautions yet. 21 laps in, other than that initial one right off the rip on lap 1. 13 car was able to make the move on the 73. Currently running in that... Oh, I take that back. Is he a lap down? Well, oh, Chris Hood 1 lap down. He must have lost a lap during that initial... When did that happen? Must have been during that initial caution. I didn't realize he had lost a lap. Chris Hood definitely hoping for a caution now to get back onto the lead lap. However, no sign of stopping from any of our competitors so far. The 04 continuing to lead, lap 23. I take it back, we're not doing 50 laps, we're doing 80 tonight. So, keep in mind, the fuel load on these vehicles here is heavy. Whoops. Don't need my browser right now. There we go. Apologies. I have a chat problem right now. Bear with me, we had a bot come into our chat here. I needed to ban real quick. There we go. That's better. Still no change in the front. Still the 04 5 car chasing him down. Oh, we got our first taker on pit road. That's Brian Moore in the 10. Coming down to the attention of his crew. Let's see what the first pit stop of the day looks like. Especially for the pole sitter. He does take a fast repair. Right side's up. Fresh tires will go on that vehicle. Round to the left side. Left side up. Going to take 4 tires and fuel, I'm sure, as our leaders continue to make laps around the track. As I said, keep in mind these drivers will be having to make 2 different pit stops. Let's see. Whoa! Savage getting into the wall there a little bit. Here comes Moore off pit road with his fresh tires. He is going to stay, I believe that's going to put him 1 lap down for the moment. Yes, indeed it does. However, when the leaders come down to pit road, he will more than likely get that back. The question is, by undercutting, will he get more time back? He's now on faster, fresher tires. Can he make the most of it? There's Savage Motorsports coming down to pit. He's going to bring that number 73 Ford Mustang to the attention of his crew as well. My guess is I did see him get a little piece of that wall. Makes me wonder if he didn't have a little bit of damage. 83 of Randall, or 89, excuse me, decides to stay on track. You can see the difference.
Oh, 40-second hole kind of passed through me on that one.
That is unfortunate. Like the 73.
I did.
Like the 73 picked up a speeding penalty. These cars are good for about 30-ish laps on fuel, plus those caution laps at the beginning. But these 2 leaders are going to have to be coming to pit road very, very soon. It cannot last much longer. Fuel is going to run out. When do they bring these cars down? Do they think they can stretch it all the way to lap 40 and make this a one-stop race? Do they have the fuel? 73 of Savage Motorsports gets off pit road after the speeding penalty. Let's take a look at our lap times currently. Our leader, the 04 of Caldwell, who's led them all so far, running a 32.8. 840, yeah, Derek Hilker chasing him down. And only a 10th here and a 10th there, 32.905. Oops, where's he at? 32.911, 32.905, so right on each other's pace. But let's take a look at Brian Moore, who's running 2 seconds a lap faster. That time, 1 second a lap. By running these laps at this pace, oh, here comes the 089 in for service. It was Little Savage bringing that Ford Mustang down pit road. It is a long pit road when there's only a handful of racers in each race. Takes forever, it feels like, just to get to your pit box. Hilker and Caldwell continue to battle for the lead. Only 3 cars left on the lead lap. I believe the third one is... no, down to 2 now. Take that back. The only 2 cars left on the lead lap are your 2 leaders. The question is, do they realize they're going to run out of fuel? They show no signs of relent. With 33 laps in the book, and I saw only about 34 laps of fuel estimated for these vehicles, these cars have to be running on empty. So when do they come down pit road? And where is Brian Moore? This is the car to watch right now, running consistently 1 to 2 seconds faster than our leaders every single lap. That will be the story of the first pit stop. Can the undercut from Brian Moore get him back in contention in this race by sacrificing a set of tires early to gain speed on his competitors? He pitted late enough into the race that he should still be okay to make a 2-stop race. See no signs of slowing from either the 5 or the 04. These guys have to be pushing their fuel to the limits. Will they run out? Do they remember that we've not had a green flag run this long in this league yet? This is our best one yet. Will they remember they have to pit? Hilker, Caldwell, both seasoned iRacers. I'm sure they're paying attention to their fuel. They must have more on board. They must have been able to make up more time during that last, that first and only caution we've had. They must have been saving enough gasoline to make it work. This is not a place, if you run out of gas, you are 100% going a lap down. Especially with Brian Moore closing in fast. Picking up about a second lap. You can see him back there. He is he's less than half a track behind him. The time they're going to lose on pit road coming down for service will absolutely give Brian at least 1 lap, if not a little bit more. Granted, he will have to come down pit road sooner in that 10 car, but then he'll be able to undercut them yet again. That off-sequence pit stop is going to make a difference. Here's the difference, fresh tires versus old. Look at the 73 of Savage, working that bottom side, able to drive up and around the leaders like they're standing still. The tires on the 5 and the 04, just no match. Wow, and Savage goes through the grass. Woo! That was a little aggressive. My goodness. Scary moment there from the 73. Goes through the grass in the infield in the quad oval and somehow hangs on to that ride. And yes, Brian Moore closing in fast right now. How much more fuel do these cars have left to give? The tanks in the front runners here gotta be running dry soon. No pit stop from them yet. Gotta be seeing it here sooner rather than later. There just can't be much left to give in those fuel tanks. Oh, 04 of Caldwell decides to pull down. Not sure if that was a defensive maneuver or what, or if that was him signaling he's coming to pit. No, they're still going. What on earth? What are these cars running on? We've done 40 laps. How much longer can they go? Ryan Moore catching up slowly and steadily. 32.581. Leader's now running 33. Excuse me, yeah, 33.4. So he's not gaining as much as he was, but he is still picking up time on the lead vehicles. Will the leaders run out? Are they not using up their fuel? Do they think they can make it on just one stop? If so, that will really put the 10 at a disadvantage. There's no way the 10 can make it on just one stop on gas. He will have to come twice. Undoubtedly. You can see the gap closing. Now just one straightaway back. He was over a half a track before. Leaders running the bottom. Did they come? No. They are still staying out. Unbelievable. Oh, sounds like that might have been...
Well, this is kind of good for me because I'm just saving tires behind these slow guys.
Oh, Derek Hilker. Are they coming to hit this time by? Oh, no! They both missed the entry of pit road. Oh, no! Two cars on pit road wrecked. I'm throwing caution.
Good, at least I got my lap back before that caution.
Oh, had to throw the caution there with two cars on pit road and a pit cycle potentially happening in the near future. You can't leave cars stacked up on pit road like that.
So, G, I had an unsafe pit entrance there. Should I get it you off of it?
I mean, you were just trying to save from spinning the car. That it's not like it was something where you were trying to do some stupid technique or something. You just spun and were trying to save it. I would count that as a wreck avoidance, so I went ahead and cleared it for you. I'll be honest, Derek, I think it just looked like Twig overcooked pit entry trying to come down to pit road and just overcooked it. I think it's just driver error, you know, a little bit of hard racing gone wrong. Well, that's going to shuffle the pack up here with 44 in the books and 36 to go. What the? Oh, there he was. Big blink from the 04 there. Very unsettling. So, what does that do?
So, G, could I get an EOL? That'd be greatly appreciated for my penalty.
Copy that. I'm not used to doing race control, so please bear with me as I learn the ways of the race controller. I know some of the commands and stuff, but it still takes me a minute for stuff like EOLs. And I believe with Ryan Moore's off-cycle pit strategy, this will cycle him to the front of the field now. Wow! Chris Hood getting his lap back. Holy smokes. Does that put the 13? It does. 13 back. Oh no, Brian's trapped a lap down. I take it back. Well, Brian and Savage will certainly be hoping for a little bit of chaos here this evening. They need a caution to get back onto the lead lap. Such is the dangers of hard racing. Lights are out on the pace car. Are they going to get all caught up here? Yep, there it goes.
Green flag.
All right, green is back out. We're away and racing. Drivers choosing to come.
I have a hold for some reason.
Got it. All right. So what did that do for the race breakdown? Derek Hilker now your leader. Go back. Brian Moore now technically second on track, but running fifth. Chris Hood now running second, getting his lap back. Excuse me. Twig now running second as he overtakes the 13. Chris Hood now third. Fourth is Savage, who decided to come down pit road late to top off, I think, trying to make it to the end on fuel. However, he lost the pack doing so. That's jumbled this whole race up. One car breakaway from the 5. And a 3-car battle for second. In terms of running order, not necessarily. In terms of... Excuse me, in terms of track position, not in terms of running order. Apologies, I am not feeling 100% tonight. I'm doing my best to call this one. The old brain box is not operating at 100% this evening, so if I make a mistake, three-car group breaking up a little bit here, finding some space for each other. I think they've realized there's no point fighting each other. They should all focus on going up and catching that 5-car. We thought the racing here at the old Atlanta layout here would be a little bit closer than this. Kind of surprising to see these cars not get out as well as we had thought. I figured the racing would be a little bit closer. These cars kind of getting spread out and kind of strung out a little bit. Have to remember that these cars have this problem here. Derek Hilker still leading the race in that W machine. The 04 Superman car Twig trying to go back up and take the lead back away from Hilker, but their speeds, lap time to lap time, within a tenth of each other. Moore actually currently fastest car on track, 31.055. Hood 31.9. 31.3 for Savage. He's actually got some speed. But he's too far back to make anything of it. Looks like the 089 of Little Savage either in for damage or to retire that vehicle. Or multiple laps down. What happened to Chris Hood? He has fallen back. I'm not sure if he's trying to save his equipment. Seems to be a little bit slow. minor front end damage, but certainly nothing that looks out of the ordinary. Let's check out his cockpit camera. Well, it doesn't appear to have any toe damage. The leaders should get out ahead of him. Maybe just trying to save some tires. Back to our TV camera here. Tabs on everybody. Oops. Oh, on the pace car. There we go. Like, why won't it give me the racing? I did not realize I was on I thought I was on pit road cam. That was the pace car I'd selected. Cara Hilker still leading. 2-car race. Unfortunately, Moore not actually racing for this.
That was good. My bad.
Oh, you're good. I seen it coming.
Oh no. Chris Hood, damage to that 13 vehicle. No yellow gonna throw there. He's got that car under control and bringing it to the attention of his crew. So no yellow will fly, unfortunately, for Chris Hood. '56 in the book. Derek Hilfer trying to run away with this one here at Atlanta. 10-car or more desperate for a caution. But weirdly would not be the recipient of it with Savage. Oh, Moore now currently 2 laps down, actually. I take that back. I thought he was just 1 lap down. Moore definitely desperate for some yellows. Hood gets that vehicle righted and back on the track again, which will put him multiple laps down, unfortunately. I do believe, well, maybe just 1, but on the verge of 2 by the time he gets clear of pit road. Nobody seems to have any answers for Derek Hilker with that 5-car out front right now. He had the speed to keep up with Twig earlier, but couldn't make the pass. And now just keeping that car wound up. The most of his good run. Whoa! Change for position. Where's that? There they are. 04 of Caldwell gets around the 10 or more. Oh, don't wreck 'em, boys. That was tight. Good pass by the 04 there. My guess is the 10-car must have missed a corner somewhere. Maybe, I'm not sure, the exit of 2 or 3 and 4 last lap. 04 was able to keep it wound up and get around him. Or Caldwell able to drive away from that 10-car only by a car length or 2. Current lap time showing that, yeah, even with Twig getting around the 10-car, not able to match the speed of that car on front. 32.366, 32.596. So still losing time. Let's see here, 32.3 again from Derek Hilker, and 32.4. So able to get close to matching the speed of the 5-car, but unable to make any meaningful ground. Whoa! Brian Moore going for a wall ride. Savage cruising around 3rd position on the podium. Not really able to get in touch with those leaders. 32.674 going to be good enough to keep him from going a lap down or having trouble, but certainly not enough to get him caught up to those leaders. Chris Hood with those fresh tires after the damage repair he had to take. 30.926, fastest car on track, but a full lap down, and without a caution, he will have no way of getting that back on the lead lap. A lot of drivers out here desperate for cautions. Not sure they're going to get them. Whoa, Brian! Oh no. 10 car. Oh dear. I need to throw the yellow. Can he get it down off the track? He does. Single car incident. Keep an eye on that 10 car. Make sure he can get that thing back to pit road. He's able to keep that car gathered up and not into the way of traffic. Right front completely knocked off that WeatherTech Chevrolet. Keep her off the racing surface. Strange audio bug there. Does Brian have any fast repairs left? I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, we're putting this on by.
What is happening? That might be the retirement for the car. I'm not 100% sure yet. Because he ends up towing the vehicle just at the end of pit road. Twig said he is going to be pitting this time by. I would have thought he would have got enough. Alright, let's go and watch this car come to pit road. 04 of Caldwell coming down pit road. Did not expect a pit stop. I would have thought he would have been okay. I did not expect him to... Yep, Brian Moore has retired, unfortunately. That will relegate him to, I believe, 5th place. 04 Caldwell coming down, 4 tires and fuel. With only 14 laps to go. 4 tires. That will definitely be a 4-tire and fuel stop. Down and away. Derek Hilton, can he make the run on fuel? Currently, I believe the only car left, maybe, I think, yeah. He got around Twig. Derek Hilker, now the only car on the lead lap. Savage, Hood, Caldwell, all of them. Now 1 lap down. Oops. Oh, I thought something was wrong with the 5 car. He just let out of the gas coming around the corner to roll throttle. I thought he might have had a problem, but... You can hear him jumping out of the throttle on that vehicle. Definitely fuel saving. There's your 2nd and 3rd place now, car. Savage Incorporated now running 2nd. However, going to be no match for Twig in the 04 on those fresh tires. 04 31.2, Savage 34.0. So 3 seconds a lap faster. 2.5 actually, I think. The 04 will be driving off into the sunset from that number 73 car. No chance of catching him. And there's Chris Hood running 4th currently. Well, that does put Twig back to 2nd. I was wondering. All of them a lap down to this man, though, who has had an absolutely untouched night. No drama, no muss, no fuss. 5 car putting on a clinic in consistency this evening. Only driver in the field without a major problem or issue. We know the 73 of Savage had a penalty. Both the 04 and the 13 car have been involved in major wrecks. 10 car is now retired for the evening along with the 69. And the 089 sitting on pit road still. Not sure what's going on with that vehicle. The 5 car here, the only vehicle all night that has not had problems. And that's paying dividends right now as he's the only man left on the lead lap. Twig not far behind from getting his lap back. 33.1, 30.8 still. Running about 3 seconds faster a lap than your leader, Derek Hilker. However, with only 9 laps to go, 31.1 to 33.1, he's got 2 seconds a lap faster now as those tires start to settle in. You can see Twig is coming. And I don't know if it's going to be enough to get that position back and get him back on the lead lap in case there's a caution. In theory, if the 04 can catch the 5 and get by him and we get a caution, that would put not only the 5 on the lead lap, but the 04 and currently, I believe, the 73 back on the lead lap. If we were to, say, have some level of green light checkered restart. You can see that 04 closing the gap heavily. Last laps, 33.1, 31.2. So still almost 2 seconds a lap faster for the 04 Caldwell. And this is going to make things interesting because if that 04 can get by the 5 and we have a caution, that is going to put 3 cars back on the lead lap instead of just 2. No problem at all for that 04. Drives right by the 5 like he's not even there. But that's only good enough to put the 04 back onto the lead lap. That does not put him in contention for the win. He's going to need a yellow if he wants something to happen. 7 laps to go in the race. He's going to need something. Savage gets into the wall. 89 still sitting on pit road. Twig, fastest car on track by far. But without enough time to catch up to the leader. The nature of this race, I am not seeing a yellow in his future, unfortunately. We're not about gimmicks here. We want to reward good quality racing and consistency. So if this race goes green to the end, there will be no gimmick cautions or anything to that. Hilker has earned this win currently. If there's no yellow, he will get the win he so rightfully deserves for having a good green race. Derek, last night's winner, trying to go back-to-back. We watched the 13 of Hood making laps. He's made it onto a podium position there in the 3rd position. Savage Incorporated looks like he's fallen back. I think he, ooh, yeah, gets into the wall again. I think the 73 might have some front end damage. Let's take a look. Wheel looks straight-ish, straight-ish. Might have just burned up the tires on that number 73 vehicle. Hard to tell. You can see that's Twig way faster. 32.1, 32.8. Wow. Derek Hilker making time on those old tires. 32.897. That is no slouch of a lap. But with no cautions on track. Martina Hood. No action on track, no cautions are going to come from this, it appears. If it does, that would now put the 04, the 5, and the 13 car on the lead lap for a green-white checkered if we were to have it. However, as the 04 comes around the front stretch, 5 car crosses over. That is 2 to go. Can the yellow stay away? And can Derek Hilker keep that car clean? He's got nobody to challenge him out his back door. He's watching his next closest competitor out of his windshield. Far enough ahead that he can't catch him, but far enough behind that he knows that 04 will not get to his back bumper. 5 car comes off of turn 4. Here we go. White flag is out. It's 1 to go here at Atlanta. 5 car Derek Hilker putting on a clinic tonight. Didn't always have the fastest car on track, but 100% smooth and steady. Only car on track without any iota of trouble this evening. He can turn that car off and coast it in from there if he needs to. 5 car coming around off of turn 4. And for the second night in a row, the number 5 car of Derek Hilker wins in the CSC Racing League. Well done, Derek. masterclass of consistency and avoiding trouble. 04 of Caldwell, still racing. He's going to be going for second. Looks like with Chris Hood, he's already come across the line. He was one lap down. 04 of Caldwell. Whoa! Hang on to her, Twig. As he drift bombs turn one. That will put the 04 in second. Third place will be Chris Hood. I believe he's already left the track. Burn those things down, Derek. Fourth will go to Savage. Fifth, Brian Moore. Sixth, I believe, is Lil Savage. And seventh, the 69 of Gary Greenlee. Let's jump over and see if we can... What's this? Oh. I thought I was getting a ping. Burn those things down, Derek. That is a well-earned win. I'm going to join to the other call here and see if we can use the old TTS bot to let Derek talk back to us. Derek Hilker, 2 nights in a row. Well done. You were the only driver tonight without a major incident. How crucial was that for you getting to the end here tonight? Well done, by the way. 2 in a row. Very impressive run.
Derek Hilker said, "Save my stuff."
I can believe that. I was watching your lap times, and even on older tires, you were almost a second faster than everybody else who had similar tires on that. You were conserving them very, very well. That was an impressive run, keeping that car clean. Especially on a track as tricky as this one. You could tell a lot of people had some trouble tonight, and you managed to keep them out. You were the only one of 2 cars on the lead lap. That was very impressive.
Different lines.
Different lines. Is that what was letting you save your stuff, I take it?
Yup.
Well done. That's good racecraft there to keep that car going fast and smooth around the track. Like I said, with no major issues tonight, that was an impressive and well-earned victory. 2 nights in a row. Well done.
Sautry Twig.
Speaking of Twig, what happened there? I know you came down pit road and went a lap down taking those tires. Were you?
I was out of gas.
You were at it. Did you not get gas at the only caution we really had there in the middle? I would have thought you would have had enough to get to the end like Derek.
You meant at the end? Oh, no. So my strategy plan was to pit for tires and hope I can make up the time difference, which I was not able to, except I was able to only unlap myself. I was not able to get back around again.
Okay, I was wondering what the strategy was, because I'm like, coming down pit road, I thought you had enough fuel to get to the end.
I did. You know, I thought I could have probably been in the lead. I know I was in the second groove. I'm looking at a replay right now on lap 42. I was in the second groove. I did call it that I was going to pit on the lap before. It was just really hard to get to the bottom. Maybe I could have let Derek by. Maybe he could have just let me in. I know we're both close on fuel there, but, you know, my goal was either to psych him out. It was either to psych him out or to get back around on my own pace, and I was just not able to do that tonight.
Fair enough. I know that big incident between you and Derek there coming down to pit road.
Derek Hilker said, "I didn't hear you, man."
It's all good. I said it in a game chat.
I was watching and I'm going, man, I figured you guys, I was talking about it for like 5-10 laps. I'm like, you guys got to be coming down to pit
It was
soon.
off.
Oh, that's why. But yeah, I was watching and I'm going, man, they got to come down for fuel soon. And when I watched it happen, I'm going, oh, it looked like, I couldn't tell what had exactly happened, but I'm like, it just looked like, 2 people trying to race hard and stay close, and just a little bit of contact is all it takes, especially, you know how slippy these cars get under braking. And it's,
No, so I was
I
arrow
will
blocking
take the
him.
blame.
That's all good, Derek. I don't care too much. It's fun racing. I was arrow blocking for like 40 laps before that, and then I was planning on coming down, and just didn't time it right. Just didn't work out. It's all good though.
still fun to watch. Sad to see Brian. I was really excited to see how his strategy was going to pan out tonight because he had undercut you two heavily. I think he either burned the tires up off of it or maybe knocked the toe out of it slightly. I'm not sure. But he came down 10, 12 laps before you guys. But he went from being, almost a full track back. He'd driven you guys back down to, 10-ish seconds behind you guys, if not maybe a little less. And he was actively running you guys down. I was hoping to see what that would turn out, but then when you guys spun coming to pits, I think he ended up trying to avoid it, and he spun down pit road too. And I'm going, we got 2 cars parked sideways on pit road right now. And I know that Derek was trying to come back around for pit road. I'm going, I know I've got other cars like Savage and stuff. I don't think had been to pit road yet either. And I'm going, we can't have cars like sitting sideways on pit road. I got to throw a yellow here for that. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that
I was going to try to roll, and then he threw it, so I just rolled through, and I ended up running out on pit road, like going back around. I only had 0.2 laps remaining, and
jeez.
yeah, it was a very bad situation for me. So I ended up taking fuel and then taking tires in 2 separate stops and just losing everything.
Well, I almost didn't throw the caution when only you were on pit road because Derek got the car righted and going down the straightaway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, all right, I'll get Twig get it gathered up. And then I see Brian come sliding in, and I'm going, oh crap, we got another car going. Okay, I gotta throw a yellow. Like at this point, we got multiple vehicles around, and Derek was still trying to get his car back up to speed. I'm like, I have 2 cars parked, another off pace. And I'm like, and it's right on the front stretch entrance of pit road area. I'm like, I can't leave this go like this. I didn't want to throw it there, but I'm like, I don't
Derek
think I have much of a
Hilker said,
choice.
I had 3 laps left.
Really?
Derek was able to save fuel. I had 0.2, so I got shorted on my stop.
Dang.
Obviously, I think there needs to be some investigations into his fuel cell. I believe I'm the winner of this race.
To say, when Derek said save his stuff, he wasn't kidding.
Haha.
I am the winner of this race. I believe we won this race. There's no way he had 3 laps left of fuel. I was pushing my car to the point that I had no grip, and I was basically mirror driving the entire 40 laps to throw dirty air at Derek.
That's probably what was letting him save fuel. He was having to roll off throttle more with the dirty air.
Likely. I was mirror driving like heck.
I'm using Sim Racing app.
Yeah, I'm not. I had that off today.
That makes sense. All right, well, I'm going to go finish the broadcast, but well done, Derek. 2 nights in a row. Congratulations. Twig, good effort. Good racing. That was fun to watch. I was watching it when you got past Derek. I'm going, man, if we get a yellow, you're welcome. But I'm thinking, man, if we get a yellow, you unlapped yourself. I'm like, that's going to put Chris back on the lead lap, or Savage, depending, because I know they had traded positions based on those last few laps. And I'm going, man, either way this goes, this is going to get interesting. So, but with no yellow, that was, Derek, I think, could have probably turned it off coming out of 2 and coasted it around at that point. So,
I should have wrecked somebody for a yellow there. Sacrificial yellow.
I think that might have earned you a few incident points there, Twig.
Nah.
I could have used another yellow, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think everybody could. That was
you could had ha.
That was a race that there was
it's
not
like-
a whole lot of yellows tonight.
No, I ran down the leaders, and then they got that yellow. I got the lucky dog there. If another yellow, I would have got a lucky dog. Might have been in that.
Yeah, and that's what I've mentioned that a couple of times. I'm going because Chris was a lap down, you were a lap down. At one point, Twig was also a lap down. Derek was a lone man on lead lap for a short time, and I'm going, man, a lot of drivers in the field here are going to need definitely going to be hoping to see a flurry of yellows coming at some point because we got every driver but Derek pretty much needed a yellow to get back into it. So, oh man. Well, either way, I'm going to go finish the broadcast, but good racing. That was fun to watch. We'll have to remember, Atlanta and the Xfinity cars do not produce good side-by-side racing. Kind of a single groove. It's like watching a next-gen race. It's like they don't pass well here. But
She's
either-
driving good.
Oh yeah, I'll be back in a bit. But good racing, guys.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Yep. Alrighty. And there is the automatic Discord link. So I was just getting ready to say something about that. If you like the racing here, tonight was not our most competitive race, unfortunately. The car and track combo were a little bit of a tough one this evening, as they didn't provide as good of a passing situation as we were hoping for. But either way, still a good race tonight. Still a lot of good sportsmanship from everybody there, and despite the issues, we're all good friends around here, and we're all wishing each other the best. So it's a good, healthy environment. But with that said, we're gonna wrap it up for the evening. If you want to join in on the racing, give us a join there on the Discord link. Hop in the server. That's where all of our racing organization is at. If you don't have Discord, it's free. It's got a mobile app. Not a single penny needs to be spent to get in and involved with this, other than, of course, the iRacing subscription and etc. But no extra fees or anything to join Discords or anything like that. H, Chris. What are you doing? But yes, it's a fun way to go racing. If you want to come race, have a good time, low drama, all fun, a good friendly environment and atmosphere, we'd love to have you here. Next week, we will be back. We're back to our 2 nights a week as per normal. Let me get out of the simulator here so I can pull up our Discord. Speaking of the Discord I just mentioned, let's go look at the schedule that we have posted there and see exactly what we are racing. Next weekend, November 21st and 2nd. Our short track league will return on Friday night the 21st. As always, it is the street stock vehicles every single week. Next week, it is North Wilkesboro Speedway. Definitely will be a fun race there. A little bit of a bigger track for the street stocks. And a little bit of an interesting layout with the North Wilkesboro Speedway actually being slightly up and downhill. You don't get to see that as much. Minimize that out of there. That way we don't worry about that. And then on the Cup Series side, November 22nd, this will be one you guys don't want to miss. Talladega in the NASCAR Next Gen, or not Next Gen, excuse me. God, I am tired. It's Talladega in the NASCAR Gen 3, the 87 Legends cars, the Monte Carlo, the Grand Prix 2+2, the Thunderbird, and the Buick Regal. That's going to be a fun one for sure. Lots of action on track. Those Gen 3 cars are a wild ride, and Dega is one of their best tracks to race in at. So, should be a fun evening. We will have another off week after that, as we have we've given our drivers some time off for the holidays, of course. We're not going to be running the week of Thanksgiving in, I believe, either series. Am I correct? Yes, I am correct. We will be, next week will be our 2 races, and then we'll be off the following week for Thanksgiving. Make sure our drivers are able to go out and spend time with friends and family and, not have to stress over missing races. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. My name is Soji Sakata. It's been a pleasure this evening. We will catch you all here next week for North Wilkesboro on Friday and Talladega on Saturday. Until then, thanks for watching and have a great evening.